Hey everyone, my name's Sammy and welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you've joined me for today's yoga practice. Today our focus will be on strengthening the muscles of our core. So our core muscles basically envelope our trunk. They're our deep internal muscles, and they help to bring a sense of stability to the spine and the trunk. They also help to connect the upper part and lower part of our body. So it's kind of cool strengthening these areas because it can help with stability through our body as we move around. As always, we want to listen to our body and how it's feeling today. I'm going to offer some variations. So pick something that's feeling good. I'm going to definitely modify some of them because I've still got my funny knee. So yeah, be okay for changing things up. We'll start with some mobility first, and we'll kind of section this off this yoga practice. So we'll start with our mobility, finish with Savasana, and then we'll have about 4 sections of core work. So give you an opportunity to have a break as you see that transition through the video. So if you're ready to get started, let's begin. So we'll just start with some gentle movements of the neck. So if you've been sitting in one place for a little bit, this might be a nice opportunity to get the blood flowing, and then turn from side to side. And then head forward. So we'll just roll the shoulders, the elbows and wrists. We'll take a couple of breaths in each of the poses, and we'll do each pose. It's changed direction with the shoulders. We'll do each pose for roughly around 5 repetitions. Yeah, so 5 times you'll be doing each pose. Let's start to open up through the sides of our trunk. Just gently sweeping the arms side to side, and then we'll add a little twist here. So when you do mobility, you're always keeping the body moving. Let's hollow out the belly as we come into our cat-cow. Yeah, so it's not a held stretch. We just want to get that blood flowing, get our muscles and joints warmed up. Nice. So let's get a little bit of movement through the lower back, making some circles. And please feel free to add any extra movement to help warm you up. Alrighty, so from here, I've been sitting on my rug because it kind of helps me feel more comfortable with my hips. I'm going to remove that, pop that out of the way, and come into a bit of a reclined position as we move through a few windshield wipers for the hips. And then come to stillness. As we pick up a leg, we can support it as we move through the knee joint, add some circles if that feels okay. Move on to the ankles and toes, and then over to the other side. All right, so if you need to come out of the pose a little bit earlier, that's okay. You know, we want to take our time developing strength. All these core poses, they're best done with control. So please take your time. And yeah, like I said, listen to your body. So the first one we're going to be doing, I'll just pop this rug well out of the way, is we'll do a plank, followed by lowering ourselves to the ground, chaturanga, come into a cobra pose, and then finishing off with an inversion. So, you know, I will offer some different variations, and you can pick out what you want to do today. Right, so from here, bring our hands under our shoulders as a good start point. Think about pushing not only through the palms of your hands, but your fingertips as well. And then from here, if you start doing these on your knees, like I'm going to be doing, I'm going to have my knees set behind my hips so I can tuck my tailbone down. And then of course, you've got that option of coming onto your toes as well. So we can lift the back of the shoulders up towards the ceiling, zip up the lower belly to the spine. Take another breath or 2 here as we softly gaze between our thumbs. And then when you're ready, we can slowly bring the body down with control. Hug the elbows to our side as we peel the chest off the ground into low cobra. So tucking the tailbone down, or maybe a little higher with our cobra. And take another full deep breath in and out here, not rushing. And then a big press as we come into your inversion of choice. So you might like to sit the hips all the way back and have a little time in your balasana, child's pose, or you might like to curl the toes under and come into down dog. And we're going to spend a couple breaths here, reaching the front of the hips to the front of the thighs, letting the head dangle between the arms. Now we're going to do this sequence 4 more times. So we're going to come back into plank, knees or toes. spend a little time here, just a few more breaths, feeling the strength in our arms. And then when you're ready, lower the body down, peel your chest off the ground, hug your elbows close to your body, tuck your tailbone as we come into your cobra option. Just get gently gazing towards the top of our mat. Big press as we choose our inversion, our child's, or our down dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Gazing underneath us, stretching the arms towards the top of the mat. Coming into our third plank, picking your option, knees or toes, zipping up that lower belly. Bring the heart through the upper arms. Slowly make your way down. Lots of strength work for the arms here. Hug the elbows close to the body. Roll the chest off the mat as we tuck our tailbones down. Big press as we come into our inversion. Puppy or down dog, or child's if that's what you want to do. Reach those arms forward, hips are high and out the back. 2 more, I hope I haven't lost count. All right, so back into our plank. Hopefully our 4th one. I have a bad tendency to lose count with my reps. Slowly lower our body all the way down to the mat. And then we can keep the legs switched on, soften the shoulders away from the ears as we come into our cobra. Big press as we come into our inversion. I might even do child's for this one, I think, or actually puppy, as I melt my heart down. Lengthening through the arms. And last one, here we go, last plank. Bring the heart through the upper arms, tuck your tailbone down. Slowly lower your body all the way to the mat with control. Peel the chest. I'm coming into low cobra for this one. Starting to feel a little bit tired, but I still want to do a back extension here. So just lifting the chest off the ground. And then big push. And once again, I'll choose that puppy pose option to melt my heart down to the floor. But you have child's or down dog if you want to use one of them. Lovely, come on up on all fours, we can sweep the feet around. All right, so we've done our first little core sequence there. Definitely felt like that was challenging me. So I'm going to take a little break, and then when we come together again, we're going to move on to a side plank and that'll transition to a gate pose. So take as much time as you need. Probably wouldn't have any more than say 3 minutes off because you don't want to totally cool down. So just enough to have a drink, and then I'll meet you back on the mat. See you soon. All right, so we're going to move on to our next 2 poses, being side plank and gate pose. Okay, so if you're ready, let's begin. We're going to come onto our hands and knees, setting up in tabletop, so where our knees are under our hips, our hands are under our shoulders. And then from here, we're going to dog leg our left foot off the mat to the side, extend our right foot. So have a bit of a look underneath and see if your right heel is in line with your left knee. Okay, so from here, our left hand is also in line with our left hip. I'm going to peel the right hand off the mat, and we want to bring these hips all the way through. So if that means that you need to shift your hand forward, so obviously limb length will play a part as to how we set up. We want the wrist of the left hand underneath the left shoulder as much as we can. So if we need to wiggle the hand forward a bit to shift that weight, please do that. Okay, so from here we've extended our right arm, we've brought the left hip all the way through. Once we've set up, in fact, I'm going to come forward a little bit here. And from here, we can play around what we want to do with that right arm, whether we want to have it up in the air, whether you want to extend it over the top. And then we can also play with our right leg, whether we want to keep it on the floor or lift it up. Okay. And then the other option is straightening out the bottom leg, so it's out there with the right leg. but I like this option. This will do me. So from here, we're going to extend, keep that left hip pushed through. So we've got this nice flat area from our tummy to our hip to our knee. And then from here, we're going to press up into gate pose. So big push, and then we're going to come into gate pose. So we've landed. If your right foot was in the air, you're going to land it. So it's still in line with our left knee, and we're going to reach over into gate pose. So really opening up through the left side of our body. Then we can spiral over, land our hand, come into our side plank once again. So we've got a nice stable base with our left wrist under our left shoulder, with the option of lifting up the top leg. You don't have to, it's up to you. And then press up, land that right leg, come into your side plank, into your gate pose. One more breath here. And then let's spiral down, landing that left hand, extending the right arm, whatever you're going to do with it, keeping that left hip all the way through. So watch, we're not kind of plucking the bottom out the back. Then press up, coming into our gate pose. So quite a lot of trunk strength required to go from one side to the other. So do your best. Here we go. We've got two more to go. Land the palm, extend. And it's okay to land your foot too. Once you get really, really tired, you can still maintain a really good core strengthening pose here. You don't have to keep that right leg up if you've had it up. And then over we go. Big stretch over. Last one. Landing that hand with control, lengthening the body right down the right side. Keep that left hip through. And then we have our last gate, big press, reaching the left hand over. And then come on down. So let's just take a little mini break here. We'll come on to our bottom, give our hands, our core rest, maybe do a few windshield wipers here. Now, when we come onto the other side, this might feel completely different because we hold our strengths different from one side of our body to the other. Perfectly normal. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it's what we do, our lifestyle, or it's genetics, or an injury or illness. All right, so we're going to do the other side now. So I'm going to turn the other way here. And from here, setting up into our tabletop. So we want this nice long line from tailbone to the crown of our head, hands under shoulders, pushing through all of our hand, fingertips included. And then we're going to dog leg the right leg out the back, extend the left leg. And take your time to set up with this as well. Then we can peel the left hand up. And I'm going to shuffle that right hand forward a bit. Bring the right hip through this time. Have a bit of a look here and then work out what you want to do with that left hand. So don't forget to breathe. Just nice steady breaths. I reckon this side's going to be a bit more challenging for me. Big push. Oh, yeah. Plus we're getting tired here and we're reaching over to open up the right side of our body. I reckon that Savasana will be something that is well earned. Coming down, lower the right hand, and then lengthening right down the left side of our body, keeping that right hip through, big stretch. And then up we go, whee! Beautiful. Lengthening the body here, right down the right side of our body. And number 3, so we're landing that right hand and extending. I'm going to lift up my left leg this time. Reaching with fingertips, tippy toes, and then coming up over the other side. And we've got 2 more to do, so take your time. Landing the hand with control, stretching out, keeping that right hip through. And then come on up, whoop, to your gate pose, landing your left leg. One more of each, landing the hand, reaching over with the left arm, whatever you've chosen to do with it. Nearly there. Keep breathing. Last gate. Landing that left foot, reaching over with the right hand. Nice. Come on down. Lovely. Again, let's just shuffle onto our bottom. Take a few windshield wipers here. Okay. So once again, I'm going to transition to the next one. This is a chance for you to have a little break. It's okay to have a break. We need time to just recoup. Again, allow those poses to land in our body. And so when you're ready, I'll meet you back on the mat on your backs this time. See you then. Okay, so we're going to come down onto our backs if you haven't done so already. So start to melt your back to the floor and then keep a bend in your knees. We can tilt the pelvis up slightly just to melt the lower back gently to the floor. Allow our arms to relax by our side. So we're coming into a lying staff pose, but we'll pump the legs a little bit while we're in this position. So let's peel the feet off the mat. Okay, so adjusting our back position here, we want to feel nice and grounded through the whole of our back of our shoulders, along the spine. We'll flex the ankles and we're going to inhale, drive the heels up to the ceiling, pulling the big toes down, straightening the legs as much as you can, and then exhale, squeeze the breath out of our bodies by bringing the thighs to our belly. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bend into those knees. We're going to do 3 more. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to squeeze it out. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to squeeze. And then we can just lower the feet down to the floor. Keep your ankles and knees in line with your hips. And we'll add a bridge pose just to open us up through the hips and act as kind of a little bit of a recovery. But we are still using our core muscles, so keep pushing through the heels and the big toes. That'll keep the knees in line with your hips. And maybe focus on, bringing the heart towards your chin. We want the whole back of our head, our shoulders and our upper back to be on the floor. Squeeze into the glutes. Couple more breaths here. And then we'll slowly melt the spine down to the mat. All right, so we're going to do this 2 more times. Okay, so peel the feet off the floor. Adjust your position on the mat, flex your ankles. Take that nice deep full belly breath in as you lift the heels to the ceiling. Exhale, squeeze the breath out by drawing your thighs to your belly. Inhale. So our eyes are just comfortably looking up. As we exhale, pull the knees towards us. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to lower. 2 more of these. Inhale, push the heels up. Exhale, drive the thighs to the belly. Last one. Inhale, press the heels up. Exhale, squeeze the breath out as you draw the knees towards you. Lower your feet down to the ground. Heels and knees in line with hips. Push through the heel and the big toe as we peel the spine off the floor. Switch on your glutes. Press your hips up as high as you can and think about bringing your heart to your chin. So we'll take a couple more breaths here. And then slowly melt our spine 1 vertebrae at a time onto the mat. And then we're going to do that little lying staff pose 1 more time. So peel the feet off the floor 1 at a time. Do a little shuffle here. Flex your ankles. Big deep breath in as we lift the heels up. Exhale, bring the knees towards our body. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend into those knees. Inhale, we'll straighten those legs. Exhale, bend into those knees. 2 more. Inhale, stretch your legs. Exhale, knees to belly. Oh, my dogs are going off. Inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, bend. And then we're going to lower the feet down to the floor. They're like my little alarm system here. And then our feet and knees in line with our hips. We're going to peel the spine off the mat. Keep pushing into the big toe. Lift the heart to the chin. Hold this position for a few more breaths. And then we can slowly lower down 1 vertebrae at a time. Nice. So let's just take a moment here. We can do a little windshield wipering. All right, so that's our next lot of core work done and dusted. So we've got 1 more set of exercises to do, or poses I should say. Yeah, so again, take a little break and I'll join you. Again, we're still lying on our back, so if you just want to stop here and just keep going, that's totally okay as well. Yeah, so I'll see you soon. Okay, so we're up to our last pose, and we're doing a spinal twist. So it's just the 1 pose for this one. We're going to do about 10 on each side. We'll take our time. Again, you don't have to do all of them. If you've kind of had enough, that's okay. You can skip straight through to Savasana. Otherwise, I'll join you with your back on the floor. Okay, so we'll set ourselves up. Keep that bend in the knees. We take our arms a little bit away from the body and we want to kind of anchor the shoulder blades to the mat. So as we're moving our knees from side to side, we want to keep the chest nice and open. So if we can, if they lift a little bit, that's okay. But if we can kind of keep the whole back of our upper middle body on the floor, that would be wonderful. So from here, we're going to peel the feet off the floor. Again, do a little adjusting. We want our knees roughly in line with our hips and our, kind of our shins here parallel to the floor. Okay, it doesn't have to be super accurate. And then from here, we're going to come into bring our knees over to one side. So anchoring down with our arms and our shoulder blades, we'll bring the knees over and we're just going to hover those legs off the floor. Okay, we're not going to let them land. We're going to stop here for a few breaths. So lots of core work happening here in rotation. Then we're going to come back to center. And then take it to the other side. Now, if you want to, you can look the opposite way as well. And then we're going to come back to center. All right, so we're taking it over to the side we started with. Hang here for a few breaths. And then come back to center. In fact, I think 5 of these each side is going to do me today. I'm kind of getting tired here, but if you want to do 10, that's okay. Come back to center. So I'm going to do another 3 on each side. Sometimes less is more. And like I said, we want to kind of honor how our body's feeling. And it's telling me, Sammy, you've done enough. Hold that here. And then come back to center. I'm going to do 2 more each side. Just hovering the legs off the ground, trying to keep that shoulder blade grounded to the floor. Come back to center. And then over to the other side. And I think I've got 1 more each side. That's how tired I am. I've like forgotten how many reps I have to go. Oh, we only human. Oh, come to center. And then over to the other side. Quality over quantity. Lovely. And then I'm going to land my feet. Again, if you want to keep going with that for a little bit more, that's okay. But I've kind of had enough. So I'm just going to add some windshield wipers here. Show myself a little gratitude. And then from here, we're going to come into Savasana. So we'll spend a couple of minutes in stillness, allow our practice to land into our bodies and, give us an opportunity to just mellow out and not do core work. So come into a position that feels good for your body, that you're able to maintain a sense of stillness and peace. I'm going to TP my knees here and take my feet a little bit wider than hips. And then I'm going to gently draw you out of your Savasana in just a few minutes. And just gently start to bring some movements back to your body, some wiggling or circling of the limbs, the fingers, toes, maybe a stretch that you enjoy doing, a deepening of the breath. Do it slowly with kindness and compassion. And then when you're ready, you can roll over to one side and press yourself up to a comfortable seating position. Don't want to sit on my glasses. All right. As we come together to close our practice. So if you'd like to join me by bringing your hands to your heart space with a gentle bow as we give gratitude to our amazing bodies for moving through those challenging core focus poses, for our breaths for nourishing us, and for our minds for guiding and supporting us. Thanks once again for joining me today, and the light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. All right, well, there you go then. I hope you're feeling nice and strong in your core. If you enjoyed doing this, leave me a comment. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, family members, whoever you know that might enjoy doing something like this. Otherwise, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye.